Let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed how peaceful it feels when everyone leaves, the messages stop, the noise fades, and you're finally alone? Not lonely, not bored, just calm. And then a strange thought appears. Is something wrong with me? Why do I enjoy this so much? Why do I feel better alone than with people? If that sounds familiar, stay with me. Because enjoying being alone isn't a flaw, it's a psychological signal, and most people misunderstand it completely. Let's clear up the biggest myth right away. People who enjoy being alone are often described as antisocial, cold, distant, emotionally closed. But in most cases, none of that is true. Enjoying solitude doesn't mean you dislike people. It means you relate to people differently. Think about this. You can love food and still need time between meals. You can enjoy music and still turn it off to hear silence. Human connection works the same way. Some people recharge through interaction. Others recharge through distance. Solitude isn't rejection, it's recovery. Here's something we rarely talk about. Being around people, even people you like, requires constant mental work. You're reading expressions, adjusting your tone, responding at the right moment, deciding what to say and what not to say. Even in relaxed conversations, your brain is active. For people who enjoy being alone, this processing runs deep. They don't skim interactions, they absorb them. So after social time, instead of feeling energized, they feel full. Not in a bad way, just full, like your mind has eaten enough. Solitude gives the brain space to digest. Here's another important piece. Outside, even with close friends, we perform a little. Not fake, not dishonest, but shaped. We soften certain thoughts, speed up reactions, stay on. When you're alone, that turns off. There's no audience, no feedback loop, no pressure to respond. You can sit in silence, think slowly, feel something without naming it. For many people, that's not emptiness, that's relief. Psychologically, safety isn't just physical, it's cognitive. Safety is when nothing unexpected is demanded from you. Your attention isn't pulled in 10 directions. Your inner rhythm isn't interrupted. People who enjoy being alone often have sensitive or observant minds. They notice emotional shifts, social tension, subtle expectations. Their nervous system is tuned in. Solitude lowers the volume, and when the volume drops, clarity appears. This matters. Loneliness is the pain of missing connection. Solitude is the comfort of choosing distance. From the outside, they can look identical. From the inside, they feel completely different. Loneliness drains you. Solitude restores you. People who enjoy being alone aren't avoiding connection. They're choosing the form of connection that doesn't overwhelm them. Sometimes that connection is inward. Here's a subtle thing many people relate to. A short conversation, a casual meetup, a quick call. Why did that feel so tiring? Because for some minds, even small interactions open many mental tabs. They replay what was said, what was meant, what could have been said differently, not because they're anxious, because they're reflective. Solitude closes those tabs. I want to pause here and share something personal. For a long time, I thought enjoying being alone meant I was emotionally disconnected. So I kept forcing myself into more social time, more plans, more noise, more normal behavior. But something strange happened. The more I pushed myself outward, the less present I felt inward. What changed everything was realizing this. I wasn't avoiding people, I was protecting clarity. Once I accepted that, being alone stopped feeling like a problem and started feeling like alignment. Our culture values visibility, being seen, being active, being involved. Quiet doesn't trend well. Stillness doesn't post well. So people who enjoy being alone often feel like they need to explain themselves. Why don't you go out more? Why do you stay home? Don't you get bored? But psychology doesn't measure life by movement. It measures it by regulation. Some nervous systems regulate through stimulation, others through calm. Neither is better, they're just different. So if enjoying being alone isn't antisocial, isn't emotional avoidance, and isn't something to fix, then where does this preference come from? In the next part, we'll explore why some people feel most themselves in solitude, how early experiences shape this comfort with aloneness, when enjoying solitude is healthy and when it might hide something deeper, and how to tell the difference without judging yourself. There's a reason people who enjoy being alone often say, "I feel more like myself when I'm alone." That's not poetic language, that's psychology. Your sense of self becomes clearest when external influence drops. When you're alone, no one reflects expectations back at you. No one reacts to your thoughts. No one subtly shapes your behavior. Your mind stops adjusting. And when adjustment stops, identity stabilizes. For some people, that clarity is addictive in a healthy way. Preferences don't appear randomly. In many cases, the comfort with being alone develops early. For example, a child who learned to self-soothe, someone who spent time entertaining themselves, someone whose inner world became a safe place. Solitude became familiar, predictable, non-threatening. So later in life, the brain remembers, here, I don't have to brace. This doesn't mean the outside world was bad. It means the inside world became reliable, and reliability builds trust. Another overlooked aspect, cognition. People who enjoy being alone often think deeply, not quickly, deeply. They connect ideas, replay conversations, imagine alternatives, reflect on emotions. Noise interrupts that process, so being alone isn't about escaping reality, it's about giving thought enough space to finish itself. That's why creativity, insight, and emotional understanding often happen in solitude. This distinction matters. Enjoying being alone is healthy when it increases clarity, restores energy, improves emotional balance, and makes you feel more grounded afterward. You return from solitude feeling calmer, clearer, more yourself. That's regulation. But honesty matters too. Solitude becomes unhealthy when it shrinks your world, increases fear of people. It replaces connection instead of balancing it. It feels heavy instead of calming. The key question is simple. Does being alone make your life feel clearer or smaller? Clearer means listen. Smaller means gently explore why. Psychology doesn't shame patterns, it examines them. Here's what often goes wrong. Someone enjoys being alone, they hear it's not normal, so they force themselves to socialize more. But forced interaction drains faster than chosen solitude, and instead of becoming more connected, they become more detached, because the nervous system wasn't consulted. Real change never starts with pressure, it starts with understanding. The goal isn't isolation, and it isn't constant socializing either. It's rhythm. For people who enjoy being alone, fewer interactions, deeper ones, more space between social moments, permission to retreat without guilt. Connection feels better when it's not competing with exhaustion. People who value solitude often develop strong self-awareness, emotional independence, creative depth, and internal stability. They're comfortable with their thoughts. They don't panic in silence. They can be present without distraction. That's not withdrawal. That's inner structure. From the outside, it looks quiet, still, inactive. But internally, a lot is happening. Thinking, integrating, processing. Society rewards output. Psychology respects integration. And integration happens best in calm. Connection doesn't always mean proximity. Sometimes it means understanding yourself, being at peace with your thoughts, choosing people intentionally. People who enjoy being alone don't lack connection, they curate it. So if you enjoy being alone, it doesn't mean you're broken, you're antisocial, or you're missing out. It likely means your mind values space, your nervous system prefers calm, your inner world is active. And that's human. The goal isn't to change who you are, it's to understand how you function. Because when you respect your psychology, life stops feeling like something you have to fight and starts feeling like something you can inhabit.